Can you see me shaking? Hear the sound of my heart breaking. Bless the soul that's aching, hoping I survive. The feeling lingers on every day of every month, wishing I just could forget about you.
Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am beyond thrilled for today's video because I'm finally decorating my house for fall and I am cleaning it as well. I hope you're excited to come along with me. Sorry if you can hear barking in the background. That's my bulldogs. They're playing around. I'm just like almost jumping in excitement because this house really needs to be cleaned. I'm just looking at everything right now and I'm like, I can't wait until it's nice and squeaky clean and I can just sit down and relax and just watch my accomplishments. I'm so happy to have you guys here for my fall clean and decorate with me. So let's go ahead and get started. So something came in the mail. I got a shelf from Amazon. I have to put it up. My husband's actually gonna help me put it up, but I still want to kind of have an idea of how I'm gonna decorate with it. So I'm gonna take it out and just kind of put it on top of the couch, and then I'll put the decor on top of it, just how I'm gonna lay it out so that I know it's going to be there. But yeah, so you're not gonna see it maybe hung up in this video, or maybe you will, I don't know. But you'll get like an idea of how that's gonna look.
You know that I'ma keep it cool. With you I feel like breaking rules. On the edge, looking out with no parachute. You know I'm dreaming about us two, playing around without a clue. On the edge, leaning out. With us it's all or nothing. Ooh, but guess I need more of you. With us it's all or nothing. But guess I need more of you. You say it during night, but in the morning you just leave. With us it's all or nothing. Ooh, but
I'm gonna keep the box in case I return it. I don't think I will, but just in case. So it's a little bit smaller, but I kind of wanted it to be a little bit smaller because it's on top of the couch, you know, but I don't know. It's definitely smaller than those. I might keep it, we'll see. So I actually do end up returning this back to Amazon, and I just went and got the IKEA ones that I usually get, which you will see later on in the video. And I'm using the Caldrea room spray. This is one of my favorite scents, is the sea salt neroli. I highly recommend it if you are looking for a room spray. It smells so good. I'm just spraying this on my couch and also vacuuming it, just getting it nice and squeaky clean for fall. I'm also using this other piece for my vacuum to get into those little areas that were super tight, but there was some nasty stuff in there. You can kind of see me pulling things out. There was like random things like little wrappers and like a Q-tip and just little things. So I was really happy to get this place really nice and deeply cleaned. I have also been wanting to wash that fur pillow that you see on the right. I don't know how to wash fur without getting it all messed up, but if you know any tips, let me know in the comments below because I've been wanting to wash it for forever, but I just don't want to mess it up, so I keep just keeping it like this. And sorry if you can hear little steps on the ground as I talk. It's Chiqui's just walking around here and you can hear her, so don't mind that. She's coming along with us.
I wasted all my time, I wasted all my nights, I wasted it on someone who's indifferent. He didn't love me right, he told me to listen. You have been here since day one. See my ups and downs. Never left my side once. Yeah, you stuck around. Who knew it was you? You have been here all along. You have always been the one. Yeah, who knew it was you? You have always been the one.
So now I'm going back and I'm putting the shelf where I plan on putting it eventually. That way I can just kind of have an idea of where that's gonna go. And I'm just vacuuming the ottoman and just getting everything else nice and vacuumed and ready for fall.
Signs, it didn't treat me right, but I just couldn't let him go. You waited patiently, you waited for me. You showed me what it was to love. You have been here since day one. Seen my ups and downs. Never left my side once. Yeah, you stuck around. Who knew it was you? You have been here all along. You have always been the one. Yeah, who knew it was you? You have always been the one. You have been here all along.
So I'm also taking out some decor that I'm not going to be using for fall. So this cute little basket I got from IKEA, but I'm not going to use it for fall. So I'm just taking that out, and then I'm also just trying to clear things out of the tables that I don't plan on using. Here I just left my Jesus statue, my diffuser, and a hand sanitizer, which the hand sanitizer doesn't look very cute, but we kind of use it when we get into the house, so it's just really practical, so I just left it there.
Left my side once.
And I went all deep cleaning here today. So I'm moving the couches around, just really getting in there, vacuuming everything up. It was so refreshing just getting everything super clean. It's, more work than usual, but it's definitely worth it. And I feel like you don't do this very often, maybe like twice a year, like spring cleaning and then now for fall cleaning. So it was so worth it. And you always find stuff in there. I'm like, how did this even get here? And sometimes it's kind of exciting because you find things that you thought you lost. So you find treasures in there.
There will be a time when you and me finally can talk.
So this is actually a massage chair, like a foot massage chair that we keep here that we use every now and then. So just putting that there in the corner, that way it's not like too visible, but we just keep it up here because we use it sometimes, like every now and then.
Yeah. You can show me.
See what I'm talking about? Like there's stuff that you find that you're like, oh yeah, like I wonder where that went. So I also just wanted to show you, like I feel like sometimes you look at a house and you're like, oh wow, it looks so clean. Like you're cleaning a clean house, but it's actually dirty. Like you can see all the details here of all the dirt that was in there that I got to clean up. And now I'm mopping, and if you see another dog, it's because we were dog sitting Sunny, who's our friend's dog. He's a boxer, so we had a party of 3 dogs here today. And Chiquis just loves chasing the mop. She finds it super entertaining. You're gonna see him a lot throughout the video. Now I'm moving to this area that just had a bunch of random stuff that needed to be put in its place. I feel like I do have quite a few things that don't really have a home. So I'm trying to work the whole organization thing as best as I can. Eventually, I want to find a home for everything in the house. That's the goal. That's the dream. So for now, I'm just kind of trying to get things in place as good as I can and just make things look more tidy and more organized.
I pray to God I find a way to mend my broken heart. Yeah. Wanna show you a new place to start. Place to start.
also moved this plant on the other side. I just felt like it looked better for the fall. I don't know. That way it wasn't too distracting, so I put it on the other side. So these are the screws that we got for drywall and stud anchor going on that wall over there. And the master installer, my husband Sebastian, right here.
Hello.
So I actually ended up returning the Amazon shelf and got this one instead from IKEA, which I think looks nicer. It looks just like these ones here. So I'm crossing my fingers everything turns out when we put it on this wall. And oh my goodness, you guys, I'm like so indecisive. Is that how you say undecisive? Indecisive? Because I love the shelf, but I was like, I think it's a little too high. So my husband was so sweet and he went in the next day and lowered everything like a foot and then patched up the holes, painted the little spots, and it was so worth it. It looked so good in the end, so I'm really happy with the result and very grateful. This is that shelf that we put up, and I just put up like the decor that I had up there. So I had a frame, and then I just had 2 little vases, so I put those up there. And then I think I'm just gonna keep this really basic and just very minimalistic, so I'm gonna put a pumpkin on that other side. And now I'm adding these dried fall colored eucalyptus on this vase, and I thought they looked so pretty. I'm folding the bottoms, that way I don't have to cut them in case I use them in a different vase in the future, but they turn out so cute in this spot. I really, really love them. And then 3 little pumpkins to make it really fall. On this wooden vase, I put my wooden and white or cream colored pumpkins, and I thought I gave it a really pretty fall touch, but still kept it minimalistic. And now time for the bathroom. So I'm kind of going room by room. I'm cleaning it and then decorating it. So now I'm going to the bathroom, but I'm gonna decorate the bathroom later because what I'm gonna put in here is going to be something that I'm going to kind of DIY, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. But I'm just getting everything really nice and clean, disinfected, just nice and tidy. And for those of you wondering what Mrs. Meyer sent, this is actually a Mrs. Meyer's bottle that I recycled, and it has some disinfecting product inside. I believe it's Lysol, and then I just mix it in like with water, how you're supposed to do, and then that's what I've been using lately just to disinfect. So I'm just using the bottle, but that's what's inside of it. Moving on to the kitchen, honestly, I didn't have to do very much to stay, so I'm just making it more fall-ish. So I put this cute little towel that I got from JoAnn's, and then I'm lighting up a candle before I move on to the rest. That way the house can smell nice and fall-ish. So I'm using this one from Bath & Body Works. It's the Acorn Lane, which is one of my favorite scents this year. Something really funny, I feel like usually, I don't know, for some reason, some of the scents I've gotten, they don't smell the best when you burn them. Like when you smell them at the store, they smell really good, and then when you burn them, they don't smell very good. But this one was perfect. It smells so good. So if you are looking for a fall candle, definitely try this one out. It smells really good. Okay, and now I'm moving on to a few little DIY things. So I'm putting different plants and things in vases and little pots. That way I can put them throughout the house. And I wanted to show you this one. So it's so funny because On my haul for fall decor, I was talking about this piece right here, the dried wheat. And I thought they just like put everything together like this. But it turns out that this piece is actually like decor. So everything's like glued on with hot glue and ribbon because you were supposed to use it like this. But I didn't know. I thought they were just selling the wheatgrass and it was just like wrapped in a ribbon. So I'm just cutting everything and putting it in this glass vase. This one's gonna go in the bathroom.
It wasn't possible to make us embarrassed, we were free.
And for this, I'm using plant scissors just because they're really good at cutting thick materials. I feel like if you use regular scissors, you'll probably mess them up really quick. So I'm using plant scissors and it works really good for cutting these branches. And now I'm doing some bunny tails that I picked up from Michael's and I'm putting them in this vase. These are gonna go in the living room. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. You just have to kind of measure them to the vase and decide what length you want to do and then just put them inside. It's gonna look cute no matter what. So just go for it and just be creative.
You had to move on. Life ran away from us. If I could go back, be 17 again, yeah, I would, just to see all my friends. Running around the city, acting crazy like we used to do. I wish I could turn back time. Stay up all night singing songs on the terrace. We didn't mind sitting out in the cold. It wasn't possible to make us embarrassed, we were free.
And I'm also using some of these bunny tails for this other little piece. I'm making a little arrangement, so I wanted to use some of those in here as well.
When we were 17.
So I'm using the bunny tails, a little bit of wheatgrass, and then I'm also going to use a little bit of the pampas that I showed you on my haul. And I'm also using a DIY dried palm leaf that I am going to show you how to make in a little bit, but this turned out super cute. It's super affordable if you think about how much materials you're using, but it gave it a really pretty fall-ish, minimalistic, boho, Scandinavian, whatever you want to call it, touch, and I think it's so cute. So now I'm using these other little pampas. I don't exactly know what these are called, but they're kind of like pampas, but they're like a brown color. They're smaller. I think they're super pretty, so I'm using them on this longer vase. This one's gonna go in the kitchen, but at this time when I was making it, I couldn't really decide where I wanted to put it. Later, I do go in and kind of cut some of them when I'm finished with the other ones because I just felt like it needed to be trimmed a little bit, but you'll see that later on. And I'm also going to do another vase with more of the dried wheat. I mean, I had a ton, so I was like, where do I put this? So I'm filling this one up with dried wheats as well.
Yeah, he sets my body in motion. He knows how to.
At first I was doing like one by one, and then I was like, okay, no, this is taking way too long. So I just grabbed a big pile, put it all together, and then just kind of cut it to the length I thought was good, and it worked out great. So you don't have to do like one by one. It actually saved a lot of time just to do like a bunch and then just kind of cut them all together.
Thinking we had too much. Look at me, I'm in a bad situation. Look at him, he's got a bad reputation. They be looking at us. Why do I need to be good all the time? I'm wrapped around his finger, but he is mine. Don't care what they say, too late anyway.
Okay, now for this big vase. I was so excited for this part. I've been waiting for this part for so long because it's like the big piece and it turned out so pretty. So I left these 3 pampas that were on there, and then I put these 3, I'm not exactly sure what these are called either, but I've seen them just like throughout outside, like outside the mall, or just like different kind of like wheat pampas looking things. So I'm putting 3 on there right now. I just have the 2, but I'm gonna put 3. I got these like fall colored roses that I thought would look super pretty but I think I'm gonna take out the leaves. I don't know how good the leaves will look. And I'm taking out the tags on these because I'm pretty certain that they'll look good. So I'm not cutting them off, I'm just like popping them off of these little things right here.
They say too late anyway. Why do I need to be good all the time? Nah, nah, nah. No drama, no drama, yeah. Nah, nah, nah. No drama, no drama, yeah, yeah. Nah, nah, nah. No drama, no drama, yeah. Nah, nah, nah. No drama, no drama, yeah, yeah. He's got a bad history, but what about it? Yeah, he's got a bad history, but I want him anyway.
So I have several of these that I picked up off the side of the road with the pampas that I got. But you'll want to be really careful with these because these are really pokey. So I definitely recommend wearing gloves because they're very pokey. You've been warned, okay? So I think these will look so pretty on here. Just trying to figure out where exactly. I'm just going to cut these out. Be careful because they're super sharp. Hurts so bad if you get poked. So if you have like a dog or something, be really careful. You don't want them getting hurt, so make sure you vacuum the floor really good after you're done. You don't want them getting hurt with this. This is
Oh, baby, baby, good at thinking out loud, but not too good at keeping promises. No. Oh, did you fool yourself enough to be proud? Oh, baby, baby, good at thinking.
So I put one here, and then I put a few at the top, and then some little fall colored roses, and I think it looks so good. I love this. So pretty. Finally finished the big piece of the kitchen. Now I'm just cleaning up the table a little bit. I'm keeping all of this packaging, that way when I store them later, it's really easy to store and they're not like shedding everywhere, and I can use them again next year or for a future project. So now we're back to this vase that I talked to you guys about earlier, and I'm just kind of taking the little pampas from the outside and just cutting them a little bit because I felt like they fit a little bit better. But I mean, just do whatever you feel looks better for your decor, in your home, whatever look you're going for. I feel like pampas and just dried leaves in general will look pretty no matter what. You can really do like really tall ones, short ones, whatever you feel will look best. Now I'm trying to organize my display here. So I had these two candles that I got from IKEA, and then this big plate that I got from Home Goods, that like white cream plate. And I was trying to figure out, okay, do I want to put a pumpkin in here? Just kind of play around with it until you find what you think is cute. But I decided to go with the little arrangement that I made. I put in the plate a little tiny candle from Target Dollar Spot, and then some pumpkins. And now we are jumping to a different day where I show you how to make these DIY paper palm leaf leaves. I'm like, okay, what are they? Palm leaf leaves, yep. They are made out of paper, and they are a lot cheaper when you make them yourself than if you were to buy them. It does take quite some time though, so I'm kind of like thinking, is it better if I just buy them or should I make them? I don't know. I feel like you get the hang of it as you go, but pretty much you want to get some shades of different kind of cardstock paper that you want to use for your palm leaves, and then I start making mine by folding them, and then I was like, oh my goodness, I think I'm doing this wrong. This was my first time making it, so I'm not like a professional or anything, but I do feel like it turned out really cute, and it was very affordable as well because these papers were like 50 cents each, and everything else I already had, like the hot glue and things like that. So I'm folding it the long way, and then I remember that I needed a little piece so that I can make the stem. So I'm just cutting a little piece off of this paper and then also the other paper. That way they're the same size. And I'm just gonna pull that off to the side. That way I can use it for the stem later on. So now I'm just gonna keep on folding this until I'm completely done, and I'm gonna do it to both papers.
Aren't you tired of the drama? You use your words like they are knives. I don't need that type of drama and trying to be tough all the damn time. You try to make yourself.
Okay, so now that both papers are folded, I'm going to fold each one in half like this. I'm gonna glue the part where I folded, as you can see here. That way it kind of just becomes one fan instead of two folded parts.
Yeah, baby, I will find. No, there ain't nothing stopping me. I'm bulletproof, I won't fall. I'm bulletproof, go on and shoot me down. I will always get up again. You're looking at me so cold. Get over yourself, are you for real? Why are you looking at me so cold? One's love is nowhere.
And now I'm going to put hot glue on the other part and put both of these together so that I have a big fan.
So feel better by taking me down. Once I fell, but now I'm strong. I'm ready for the rematch.
So I'm actually going to show you two different methods that I use to make these palm leaves, but you can, I mean, there's so many different ways online of how to do this, but these are just two different ones that I wanted to try out. And now I'm going to just kind of cut the shape that I think will look good. So I make it smaller on the outer part and kind of do a round look. And as I get to the middle, I do like a pointy shape. And I do end up folding it, that way they were like perfectly even, or as even as I could get them. And then there's a little section right here that's kind of opened, and that's where I'm going to glue the stem. So I'm just using these two little pieces and I'm cutting off a little section, that way I can glue it on top of the leaf and the stem to kind of make it look more seamless. So that's what I'm doing right here. And now I'm going to roll these pieces of paper to make a stem, kind of like those paper straws that you've seen. That's kind of what I'm creating. And then I wanted to just get a little kebab stick and see if maybe that made it look a little bit more perfect or more even. So I'm doing that on a little kebab stick. And I actually think this worked really good. So that's what I did for this specific leaf.
The side of you trying to break through, able to tell the truth. No one else can see you lie.
And then I'm hot gluing the end to secure it.
All you ever do is say how far you wanna go. Baby, I can tell it's just for show. Every line designed to let me know. You know you're already accepted.
And right on this section, I'm going to put hot glue and I'm going to add the little stem.
You think you're gonna be rejected.
And I actually had a real palm leaf and I was kind of comparing it to it and seeing how, like getting some tips to make it look similar for this little circle specifically, or this little shape that goes on top of it. And then I'm just kind of cutting out a little shape that I felt looked close, which is kind of like a circle with a point on the top, like a little rounded triangle, you could say. Something like that. That's what I made, and then I glued it on that little section that meets the leaf and the stem on both sides.
To understand.
And I did kind of fold the bottom of it a little bit so that it would go beneath the leaf. That way it would just help hold it in place a little bit better.
So you don't know
Now moving on to the second palm leaf, I cut out this piece of paper into 4 even sections, and I had folded them. I had folded 3 of them, but I thought they were a little bit too wide, so I went back and folded them a little bit smaller, so half of what I had already folded, and I think that made it look a lot nicer. So I'm just doing that to all 3 papers. The last one, the 4th one that you see in the back, I'm going to use for the stem. And now I'm hot gluing them together. So I'm putting all 3 of them together.
I see them pulling your strings, and you might be seeing things. Yeah, you know I'm real and I'm here. Who cares in a few years? You know you're already accepted.
And when I put this together, I was like, oh my goodness, this is super long. I can make 2 out of this. So I cut it in half, and that's what I did. I made 2 out of it.
Rejected. Just say you're in love, 'cause so am I.
So now I am just hot gluing the little ends so that it'll all stick together to form a fan. And I'm going to do this on both sides. So this side, and then I turn it around and do it on the other side as well.
So am I.
And then I decided that I wanted to put hot glue at the bottom too and kind of lay it flat and to just hold it tight. And that actually really helped to make it look more fan and just help it hold nice and tight. And now I'm cutting out these little sharp leaf or little sharp points because I just think it looks cute. I've seen on Pinterest different ones that look like this, so I wanted to do that little shape for this one. I think the smaller scissors help, so if you have smaller scissors, it'll help you be more precise, but I'm just going in and just cutting these little pointy tips.
I've been trying harder all my life, 'cause I need to be perfect. If I could just be a little better, maybe you could be my salvation out of here. I can get it off, we are never done. I'm Julian, baby.
And that's what it looks like at the very end. And now I'm going to make the stem. So I'm just cutting out a little piece of paper, a longer piece of paper, and then the little spot for that paper that goes between the leaf and the stem. I think you know the drill from what we did earlier, but this one's just going to be a little bit smaller since this leaf is smaller. And now I'm doing the same thing. So for this one, I'm still rolling it, but I'm not using the little wood stick because I want it to be a little bit thinner since this leaf is smaller. So I'm just doing that, and then I'm pretty much repeating the same step that I did earlier, except for this one. If you see on the little tip right there, I kind of spread it out a little bit. That way I could glue it at the bottom of the leaf, and that really helped it stay in place. And now I'm just going in and gluing that little dot on top and bottom of the leaf. And this is the final little palm leaf. So cute. And now I'm placing everything where it's supposed to go. So these vases are going in the kitchen. This one right here is going in the bathroom.
Don't you feel that too?
And then this basket that I showed you in my haul is going here in the living room, or at least for now. And I'm putting some of these cute fall leaves, and I put some paper at the bottom. That way it would give it some height. And then I place all of these really pretty fall decor branches and pumpkins.
Don't think that I'll ever forgive myself for losing you, or for losing you. Left our love up on those dusty shelves. Can't forgive myself for losing you.
So that is everything for my fall clean and decorate video. I hope you enjoyed it and got lots of ideas and cleaning motivation. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I post a video. I post videos every single week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.